Medallion's vibrating. Medallion's vibrating. More harpy feathers, just like you wanted.
Good work! Why, it's even a pleasure to pay you.
I gotta admit, that might have been the strangest job I've ever had.
Well, it's hardly done.
No way I'm getting you more. Godspeed.
Hello, Chief.
You hugged a bear or what?
thought it over. I'm on my way to the recruiting station.
I don't know.
What's to consider? Yorvith's not just any troublemaker.
Elves, they talk a lot and think very little. In the end, they end up dead, shouting, "We really show them."
Yorvith's different. We have to like him in ages.
Remember this.
You wanted to discuss something?
I found a stolen dream. It seems powerful. I think it's a dragon's dream.
Excellent. That should do nicely. Come back and see me when you have the remaining ingredients. You wanted to discuss something? Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important. You wanted to discuss something?
How is it that King Radovid's court sorceress and advisor is supporting rebellion in Edirn?
This has grown into more than a simple rebellion, Witcher. Prince Stennis' arrival here confirmed Saskia's right to represent Edirn.
Saskia isn't fighting for Edirn, but for the Pontar Valley. Even Prince Stennis considers you rebels. He hasn't moved against you because war with Kedwin hangs by a thread. Why are you here, Sorceress of Tretogor?
It is my duty. If Henselt occupies the Pontar Valley, Redania and Temeria will respond strongly. The North will disintegrate, its unity gone. A dark scenario that is nevertheless avoidable, provided Saskia is successful and wins the Valley's independence.
Even if she thwarts Henselt, there'll be no independence without agreement from Redania and Temeria.
Temeria's expansionist plans melted away with Foltest's death. Redania's ruler is unpredictable, but even he'll have to respect a victory. I'm here to make this victory a fact. Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important.
Amid shrubs he's seen, crouching on legs bent, catching flies to red.
Towards Scoia'tael waiting in ambush.
says someone cast a spell, and the Virgin fell as if dead.
Sorcerers are a plague of the worst kind.
What do you want?
I've heard a lot about the Dun Banner recently.
Aye, Kedwenny Light Cavalry. I met them at Brenna. They joined our relief party. But that's the distant past. I believe they were cut down to the last man 3 years ago at Vergen.
Hang 'em all by the balls and let 'em swing.
Who will the Witcher
and nobles are at each other's throats.
The prince has it coming,
Give us this horsepower!
Bloody
Prince
bastard.
King. Why is he lingering about? Like the stench in a dwarven hovel?
Those witchers be craving gold. This one's sure to say the prince is innocent, then sting Stennis for a pouch.
He better search for a lad who served the Virgin instead of pissing around.
Yeah, once done with the prince, he'd better take care of the magnets, throwing their weight about too much they are.
Farewell.
Give us this horsepower!
life.
Rolling dung, you surly dog! Change your tone.
Guilt
when we
must
put a
be
sickle
proven.
to your...
I want to speak with the prince.
You're unique then. Everyone else wants to tear him limb from limb.
We won't let you in.
Only I can help your prince.
Of course. Why didn't I think of that?
Are you mad?
Silence! I'm in command here, and I grant the Witcher leave to enter.
Please, Master.
Me, Monster Slayer.
I'm here for your help. You can save Saskia.
Do you hear them? They want my head. They equate the words of some village idiot with mine. I am the heir to the Edirnian throne, the rightful ruler of this land, descendant of Demavend and Verferil.
Prince, if you help me heal Saskia, the people will forget.
So if I don't help you, they'll kill me. This is blackmail.
This is a deal.
What do you want?
Did you poison her?
Of course not. Even if I had, do you think I would boast about it? Don't be a fool.
I'm trying to help. Not only Saskia, but you, Your Highness.
I won't yield to that rabble. Never. One smear is all they needed to lay siege to my doorstep. Do you really think I should plead my innocence every time some village idiot says the prince did it? Or maybe go out there and beg them for mercy? Never!
You merely need to convince them that you're innocent. Prove it wasn't you and they'll walk away.
And if I am innocent, yet lack proof thereof? You claim you wish to help me. Do so. Convince the people to believe me. You'll not regret it.
You're trying to bribe me.
I want only to make a contract. Think about it.
I need royal blood for a potion that will heal Saskia.
Do you mock me?
You owe Saskia your life. She carried you away from the Wraith's battle.
It was her duty, as it would have been of any Edirnian. Besides, my realm is falling apart. Responsible. Saskia and her rebels routed the royal forces at Gullet and on the banks of the Dyfni. For practical purposes, the Edirnian army no longer exists.
Those rebels are the last hope you have of stopping Henselt.
And what then? A pig herd will be crowned and appoint a shoeshine his Secretary of State.
Don't think that far ahead. Your Highness, just a few drops of your blood will cure Saskia. Vergen can defend itself only if she's in command.
I've already said I owe this girl nothing. I'll not yield to blackmail even if it costs me my life. I'll go to the axe, my head held high. And I'll certainly not surrender even a drop of royal blood to save a peasant girl. Guards!
What is it, sire?
Show the Witcher out.
Is everything in order, sire?
We had a chat, but we are through. Think on what I told you, Geralt.
I will.
Enough of this charade!
Try to be reasonable, folks. Sit down and talk in peace.
We've talked enough! Come on, lads, let's drag the prince from his hovel!
Vergen's not a cesspit for anyone to shit in. There are laws to abide, and Scalen Burden's job is to uphold them.
There's no law allowing a serf to threaten a king's sire. I, Silgrat, brother of Seltkirk, the greatest knight to walk Edirnian land, say so.
Does it matter who was born in a castle and who in a pigsty? Any fool can prejudge and condemn. It's easier to accuse than to prove guilt.
A peasant servant claims that Prince Stennis supposedly attempted to kill Saskia. Why would the prince do such a dastardly deed? Bear in mind how eminent is his lineage.
That's why! The mongrel covets the crown!
Do you even remember how valorous he was towards Saskia during the negotiations with Henselt?
Pretending to be with her he was, sly fox. Taking the simple peasants in. But us lads ain't so dumb as you lords think.
See for yourselves how the commoners hate the prince, spitting venom like adders. They hatched a plot to dispose of him.
Saskia's servant said that...
Where is this servant, might I ask? If he's got something to say, why does he hide like a thief? The answer is simple. He's a fraud.
He's hiding to save his skin from you, whoresons. Squirrels have to guard him.
One last question. How could the prince poison Saskia? It's a known fact that servants taste wine from the barrels before the virgin sips it.
It's not clear how the prince poisoned the wine, but that doesn't mean he didn't do it.
Stennis is blowing hot and cold. Everyone knows that.
You were supposed to prove his guilt, not insult him, yokel.
Tell us who else would do it. A peasant wanted to hurt the miss? Never. It's cause of her you noble dogs can't ignore us. A pig won't cut its own throat. A peasant's not foolish enough to raise his hand against his saviour.
Perhaps it is no peasant's deed. However, that doesn't mean the prince is guilty, fool.
Answer me this. Was not Stennis's room next to Saskia's? Do not the wines come from his own lice-ridden cellar? Can he not enter the Virgin's kitchen at will? Yes. His serene dumbhead the prince can, curses on his kin. Nobody in Vergen wants to kill Saskia. And even if they wanted, nobody but Stennis could do it.
You're wrong, Colton. He wanted to get rid of Saskia. He thought she was a monster at heart.
Alkan was on Stennis's leash like a dog.
How dare you, lout! Do you imagine if someone sits next to a married lady, he's surely fucking her?
The priest tried to convince Prince Stennis to join the conspiracy.
Is Stennis some dimwit foundling that he dances to a lousy priest's tune? Alkan got what he deserved when Henselt cleaved his head. Now it's Stennis's time.
There is no proof the prince agreed.
The priest asked him for admittance to the kitchen.
So he didn't poison the Virgin himself, but allowed her to be poisoned.
It appears Stennis would benefit the most from Saskia's death.
Your Highness, this is dangerous.
I am not afraid. Fear is a commoner's trait, unfit for one with royal blood running in his veins. What do you want, to judge me? Is a prince a common thief who steals a dozen eggs at the market? You stand before royal majesty, and you raise your hands against it. In this world there are crimes that can be forgiven, and crimes that, by any means, cannot. Just as a mother killing her own child, or a man slitting his own brother's throat cannot be forgiven. A crime against one anointed by the gods themselves also cannot be condoned. He who raises hand against divine right is not worthy to walk this world. And what about he who poisons the Virgin of Edirn? Firstly, Saskia is alive, so no one can blame me for her death. Secondly, you have no proof that it was I who tried to murder her. And thirdly, I assure all gathered here, I won't rise above the law. However, only she, the Virgin of Edirn, can judge me. Can he? And if Saskia won't get well, who's gonna judge you? I believe she can be cured. But if the gods decide otherwise, we'll summon a coven of the wise who can pass just sentence.
Those are words worthy of a true sovereign!
I am the one you should look to for guidance. Let my deeds be the flame that lights up your darkness.
So you've forgotten how you tried to bribe me when I was at your house?
How about that, snout face?
This is slander.
There are no witnesses, Witcher.
You didn't say a word about your guilt or innocence. You demand justice. You want to summon a coven of the wise. But who will sit on that coven? Any peasants? No, only people you'll nominate yourself. Lords whom you'll reward with lands for reaching the right decision. Such men are to decide if you're guilty? No, you are guilty, Prince. You know you are. The nobles won't forgive them that.
They're a cowardly lot. Yelping's all they're good at.
And backstabbing.
By